16 GY Ergonomic Works Drafting Chair with Adjustable Arms in Gray. Please go to the link in the description to get it for a low price. I'm using the stool in front of a classroom without a table or podium in front of me. I get up frequently to use a whiteboard, so this stool is perfect for me. It's way better than having to settle down into and rise up again from a normal chair every couple of minutes. I'm 6'3" and from the descriptions I wasn't sure whether the seat would be high enough for my purpose. As it turns out, I don't even need it as high as it can go. I like to have the ball of my foot on the floor instead of on the foot ring, so that's the setting I use. For this review I raised the seat as high as it would go and moved my rear all the way against the backrest. I have long legs and yet my heels were 7 inches above the floor. At the lowest setting, I don't remove the foot ring, and sitting all the way back in the chair my heels still don't quite reach the floor. The backrest mount is slotted, so you can adjust it forward and backward like a typical desk chair. The armrests are slotted also, but I'd guess they only move about 1/2 inch inward and outward. I have them expanded as wide as they go, and at their narrowest they are still 17 3/4 inch apart. The chair isn't intended for anyone over 250 pounds, so I'm guessing almost anyone could comfortably fit between the armrests. I've never written a review before, and I'm only taking the time because I was grateful to the people who wrote about this stool before me. None of the local stores had this stool, and I wouldn't have known what to expect without the reviews. In my case, the shipping cost was 37% of the price of the chair. I got it for the smoking deal of $63 right around Christmas of 2011. So obviously it wouldn't be worth returning if I didn't like it. That's why the reviews were so helpful for me. The reviewer who came closest to my use for the stool was a teacher who was using it behind a podium, and it sounded like it would be fine for me, too. Some of the reviews kind of lowered my expectations of the quality, so maybe that's one reason why I'm so happy with it. The plastic armrests do have some natural flex to them, but they seem solid enough. I wouldn't want them to be so rigid that they would be susceptible to snapping off, so I'm fine with them. The cushions are firm, so maybe that's why someone said they wouldn't want to sit in it all day long. Well, I'm in and out of the chair, and I don't think I would even have thought about the cushions if someone hadn't mentioned them. The foot ring is 12 1/4 above the floor with the casters on. The casters are 2 3/8 high. Fully assembled, the top of the seat is from 25 to 32. The backrest height ends up from 42 3/8 to 47 1/4. Once you sit on the chair one time, all the parts nest into each other pretty solidly. I don't think it would be easy to take apart for transporting it. If you need to transport it in a car, then keep in mind that across the feet it's about 24 and the shortest height is 42 3/8. If you had to remove the seat, it's only held by 4 screws. With the seat off and the gas spring all the way down, the pedestal assembly is about 23 high. It's difficult to roll the chair if you are sitting in it on residential carpet, but it rolls easily on a hard floor. One of the good things about the armrests is that they make it possible to easily reach back for the chair and sit in it without needing to break eye contact with the audience. I highly recommend the stool for anyone who likes to sit while making presentations in front of an audience. I'm writing this review while sitting in a normal desk chair raised as high as it will go, and the seat is only 19 above the floor. I've been in audiences where the teacher sat in a normal chair, and it's always a challenge to see them if others are sitting in front of you. At its highest setting, this stool will raise your head 12 higher than a regular chair, and I think audiences will appreciate that. Read less 3 comments. 99 people found this helpful. Was this review helpful to you? Yes, no. 3.0 out of 5 stars. Okay for the price. Buy photo paid in September 30th, 2008. This chair is an okay bargain as long as you pay under $100. But it does have its issues. Pros: affordable for a drafting stool. Adjustable arms. Easy to put together. Cons: not exceptionally sturdy. Back support isn't really adjustable. Provided instructions might confuse some. I was looking for a stool to use at a computer workstation that is specifically 24 high. I needed adjustable arms, for arm support during typing, very important, and just a generally comfortable chair. At this price range, paid about $90 with shipping, it was fine for the job. The chair really isn't as sturdy as I would have liked. It seems acceptable for me at about 180 pounds. I believe anyone over 200 should seriously look for a stronger chair as it does seem to teeter a little bit. The manufacturer states the chair is usable for people up to 250, but I don't believe that for a second. Various sites refer to this chair as having a height of 24 or 26. This was confusing as I specifically needed 24. I quickly discovered the discrepancy, which should have been clearly explained by seller/manufacturer. The chair has a height of 24 without the casters. It's 26 with. Unfortunately, if you don't use the casters, the base has a somewhat rough surface. Boss makes glides that fit this chair, but you have to pay extra for them. I found no one online store that sells the glides, which means they probably have to order directly from Boss. Or I can just put something generic on the bottom. In any case, if you need the chair to work at 24 or 25, this will be an issue as the casters add to. The instructions that came with the chair weren't even for the correct model. That was fine as there aren't that many parts to put together. If you have trouble with instructions, however, you might have an issue even with the correct version, as Boss crams it all on a single sheet with very little written explanation of how to put it all together. The back support seemed sufficient. There's no real way to adjust it except for a turn valve on the bottom, which you generally only deal with when you put the chair together. If you have back problems and need the back support to be adjustable, this chair is definitely not for you. Since I was on a tight budget, the chair is fine. If you have $200, however, I would seriously recommend you spend it on a better chair. Read less comment. 47 people found this helpful. Was this review helpful to you? Yes, no. 4.0 out of 5 stars. Great value, but does description is not accurate. By Charleston, June 19, 2009. Color black. Style name loop arms. Verified purchase. I'd agree that this is a very good value for the money, but there were a couple annoyances. 1. The description states, seat height, 18.5 inch, 23.5 inch H, which applies to the stool without the foot ring and adapter tube. The seat is several inches higher with the foot ring and adapter tube. We need the 18.5 to 23.5, so we have to use these without the foot ring, which makes this a bit less comfortable for short people working at higher tables. 2. The seat is shaped to force your tail end back into a single position. I suppose that this is the proper position for the chair, but I like to change positions frequently when sitting, so I've added an extra cushion. 1 comment. 55 people found this helpful. Was this review helpful to you? Yes, no. 5.0 out of 5 stars. Excellent chair with great quality by Carrie Rogerson. December 22nd, 2015. Color black. Style name no arms. Verified purchase. I recently redid my sewing room with counter height workstations. I needed a high stool that was comfortable, has good back support, and doesn't have arms. This stool is perfect. I've been using it for a few months and have no complaints. The wheels roll very well. Assembly was a breeze. I love the footrest. The back is positioned in exactly the right place for me. The seat is very comfortable even when I sit for long periods. It's also the perfect height for my counter height work area. 2 comments. 24 people found this helpful. Was this review helpful to you? Yes, no. 4.0 out of 5 stars. Good teacher's chair by T. Hobson. March 13th, 2010. Color black. Style name no arms. Verified purchase. I purchased this chair to use in my classroom. I was looking for a taller chair to use with my overhead but would go down low enough to use at my desk also. When I read the details of this chair, it had the range I wanted. Problem is it doesn't go up and down in that range. You have to remove part of the bottom of the chair to get it short enough for my desk. I still love the chair, it just doesn't work as I'd thought it would. It moves up and down as a tall chair or as a short chair but won't go from tall to short without removing parts.